Necessity is the mother of invention. Truth is the beginning of every good to the gods, and of every good to man. To love rightly is to love what is orderly and beautiful in an educated and disciplined way. For good nurture and education implant good constitutions. Knowledge without justice ought to be called cunning rather than wisdom. As the builders say, the larger stones do not lie well without the lesser. Democracy passes into despotism. The learning and knowledge that we have is, at the most, but little compared with that of which we are ignorant. We do not learn, and what we call learning is only a process of recollection. Nothing in the affairs of men is worthy of great anxiety. If a man neglects education, he walks lame to the end of his life. He who is of calm and happy nature will hardly feel the pressure of age, but to him who is of an opposite disposition youth and age are equally a burden. Twice and thrice over, as they say, good is it to repeat and review what is good. The knowledge that is acquired under compulsion obtains no hold on the mind. Ignorance of all things is an evil neither terrible nor excessive, nor yet the greatest of all, if they are accompanied by a bad training, are a much greater misfortune. Whatever deceives men seems to produce a magical enchantment. Must not all things at the last be swallowed up in death? All the gold which is under or upon the earth is not enough to give in exchange for virtue. No law or ordinance is mightier than understanding. No man should bring children into the world who is unwilling to persevere to the end in their nature and education. Man is a being in search of meaning. Any man may easily harm, but not every man can do good to another. Philosophy begins in wonder. I have hardly ever known a mathematician who was capable of reasoning. If particulars are to have meaning, there must be universals. The excessive increase of anything causes a reaction in the opposite direction. Courage is a kind of salvation. To prefer evil to good is not in human nature, and when a man is compelled to choose one of two evils, no one will choose the greater when he might have the less. Wisdom alone is the science of other sciences. The good is beautiful. The most important part of education is proper training in the nursery. To suffer the penalty of too much haste, which is too little speed. Our object in the construction of the state is the greatest happiness of the whole, and not that of any one class. He who commits injustice is ever made more wretched than he who suffers it. The wisest have the most authority. Excess of liberty, whether it lies in state or individuals, seems only to pass into excess of slavery. Cunning is but the low mimic of wisdom. Philosophy is the highest music. No one ever teaches well who wants to teach, or governs well, who wants to govern. The blame is his who chooses, God is blameless. Those who intend on becoming great should love neither themselves nor their own things, but only what is just, whether it happens to be done by themselves or others. He who is not a good servant will not be a good master. The most virtuous are those who content themselves with being virtuous without seeking to appear so. One man cannot practice many arts with success. Tyranny naturally arises out of democracy. The highest reach of injustice is to be deemed just when you are not. No one knows whether death, which people fear to be the greatest evil, may not be the greatest good. Music is the movement of sound to reach the soul, for the education of its virtue. Rhetoric is the art of ruling the minds of men. The eyes of the soul of the multitudes are unable to endure the vision of the divine. I never did anything worth doing by accident, nor did any of my inventions come by accident, they came by work. Injustice is censured, because the censors are afraid of suffering, and not from any fear they have of doing injustice. Not to help justice in her need would be an impiety. To go to the world below, having a soul which is like a vessel full of injustice, is the last and worst of all the evils. I would fain grow old learning many things. Knowledge is a true opinion. No one is a friend to his friend who does not love in return. No evil can happen to a good man, either in life or after death. It is a common saying, and in everybody's mouth, that life is but a sojourn. The community which has neither poverty nor riches will always have the noblest principles.